5 deaths in 10 days points to the problem Australia wants to solve. Students of St. Andrew's Cathedral School lay flowers outside the school entrance on October 30, 2023. Brisbane, Australia CNN, the mother of 5 women within 10 days in Australia, allegedly by men they knew, have left Manuela Whitford feeling numb. We've become so conditioned. You hear it all the time. I've just become so numb, she said. But on the other scale, I go, oh my god, I'm doing a good thing for the people that I can help. Whitford is the founder of Friends with Dignity, a Brisbane-based charity that gives the families fleeing domestic violence everything they need to feel at home in emergency accommodation. They are mostly mothers with children who live with few possessions but carry the weight of fear and worry about where they are going and how they are going to cope. They are so isolated. This is the years of conditioning people that you are not good enough, you are not worthy, you've got no value. We thought said from the charity's warehouse side of south of Brisbane. Tucked at the back of Industrial Park, the warehouse shelves are piled high with household goods, boxes of toys and mattresses washed, track stacked and ready for delivery to apartments secured by welfare agencies. It's hoped the donations will help save lives, but it's a woman who uh, who were unable to escape allegedly violent men that made the headlines in Australia in recent weeks. The 5 women killed in 10 days includes the 21-year-old water polo coach who had repeatedly recently spilled up with her suspected killer, and the 65-year-old woman whose elderly husband has been accused of murder. There are now numbers on the national count. That's 43 so far this year, according to a Counting Deaths Women research project started by feminist group Destroy the Joint, which takes its name from the insult to her heard in 2012 by the Australian shock jock who accused the women leaders of destroying the joint. 5 dead women. The most recent allegedly number, a murder, was discovered on Monday when security staff at the Crown Towers Hotel in Perth, Western Australia, received a phone call from worried family members of Alice Maxera, a 34-year-old lawyer. Alice Maxera was found dead in the hotel room in Perth. They checked the room and found Maxera's body. WA Police Inspector Geoff Desangs told the reporters on Tuesday. A 42-year-old man found in the same room with suspected self-inflicted injuries was later charged with murder. Late Sunday, 46-year-old Annalyn O'Shaughnessy, known as Logie, suffered fatal injuries in the house in Kangaroo Flat. According to Victoria Police, a 44-year-old man had been charged with murder. Days earlier, Lennie James, a 21-year-old water polo coach, was found dead with head injuries in the gym toilet with a private school in Sydney, according to a New South Wales police. The body of her 24-year-old former partner was later discovered at the bottom of a cliff after his suspected suicide. The same week, the 65-year-old Thi Tui Hoon Yan was found with multiple stab wounds in her kitchen in Canberra, ACT policing said. Police arrested her 70-year-old husband, who also had injured, he fronted court from his hospital bed to face the murder charge. 2 days earlier, the body of 38-year-old Krista Marshall was recovered from the charred remains of her home after a house fire in South Australia, according to SA police. A 48-year-old man was later charged with murder. Krista Marshall, Annalyn Logie O'Shaughnessy, and Lily James. The number of women killed by violence in Australia was ranged between 43 and 84 each year since counting deaths. Women began tolling deaths in 2012. Whitfield started Friends with Dignity in her garage in the same year. Since then, she said she'd noticed the change in the way people, including the police, responded to domestic violence. Each believing, each listening to the victim, she said. According to the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare, the proportion of Australian women reporting domestic violence by the partner in the previous 12 months fell between 2016 and 2021 to 2022 from 1.7% to 0.9%. However, the most recent national community attitude towards the violence against women survey in 2022 showed 23% believe domestic violence is the normal reaction to day-to-day stress, and 91% believe the violence against women was a problem in Australia. A national plan. Repeated cries for help have been made into the government, which last year launches each national plan to end violence against women and children 2022-2032. The first action plan 2023 to 2027 was released in August, and the top of the 10-point list is advancing gender equality. Australia may be a modern, wealthy nation, but sexist attitude persists in the culture where women do more unpaid domestic work and earn less over their lifetime than men, according to the United Nations. Boardrooms and many positions of power are still dominated by men, as is parliament. The country has only ever had one female prime minister, Julia Gillard, who famously delivered a searing speech on misogyny that since racked up millions of views on social media. 2022 survey by the Global Institute for Women's Leadership, which Gillard now chairs, found Australian men consider misogynistic comment more acceptable online than the global average. The first action plan includes the 3.5 million Australian dollars in funding, $2.24 million for a 3-year trial of the Healthy Masculinities project to find what works to counter harmful messaging targeting men and boys on social media. His name is not mentioned in the government press release, but experts cite the example of Andrew Tate, the self-described misogynistic internet influencer soon to face a trial in Romania on charges of human trafficking and rape. For more than 20 years, Andrew Lyons have been working to counter Tate's style of dangerous misogynistic messaging through the Right Journey, a program that works with schools in Australia, New Zealand, and further afield to teach students how to find positive role models. He says it's getting tougher to cut through the negative messaging that children are seeing on their cell phones, from abusive, disrespectful comment to easily accessible hardcore porn. The hateful rhetoric that they are reading, I would have never been exposed to as the kid, said Lyons. It doesn't even have to be a inflammatory post. You can go and read comment in the whole lots of thread and there is hateful judgmental stuff. Lines says many men are taking a more active role in fatherhood than previous generations. For family dynamics have also changed, meaning parents are spending less time with their children. On the flip side, overparenting, taking too much of an active role, can create problems of its own, he said. If kids have learned to deal with the failure and the rejection in the small stakes experiences through childhood, and it gets to the biggest stakes experiences, I think there's an issue, he said. But until those lessons are learned, the state authorities are strengthening their responses to domestic violence. In July, NSW police launches the country's first domestic and family violence registry to record the repeat offenders, and last week the WA government said it wanted more perpetrators to be fitted with electronic tags. Manuela Whitford, the founder and CEO of Friends with Dignity at the charity warehouse in Brisbane, to November 2nd, 2023. Until there is a significant change, people like Whitford from Friends with Dignity will be doing what they can to support those affected. Every Tuesday, volunteers gather at the charity's warehouse to assemble personal care kit and fill orders from agencies for people in need. Businesses are also getting involved by sending staff on away days as part of their social responsibility programs. A housing shortage means fewer apartments are available for the charity to furnish. So they are supplying more essential items to women who cannot leave abusive household. We further said that it takes the community to come together to prevent more women becoming victims of domestic violence. A lot of people don't ask you if you're okay because they don't know what to do with the answer, he said. So get educated, find out what resources are in your area.